Hi, my name is Francesca and I just want to share a story with you about how I met the love of my life using the law of attraction. Throughout my 20s, I didn't really ever have any proper serious relationships. I mean, at one point my dad actually thought I was a lesbian. Many years ago, I was at my mum's house and I had been single for a long time. My sister persuaded me to do online dating. I was not too keen on this idea. I didn't really like the idea of meeting somebody online. So I put in 6'6" and above, mixed race, must live in London, and I had one result. This is pretty unusual. Usually with online dating you would get like 500 or 5,000 results, but no, I got one result. And from the second I saw his profile picture, I literally turned to my mum and said, oh my god, this is my husband. There was no doubt in my mind that this was my husband. So straight away I signed up to the website and paid the £30, whatever it was, and made my little profile, and I messaged him straight away just saying, hi, I've never been online dating before, but you know, you seem just my type. It was probably a bit of an eager message, to be honest. Looking back, a bit of an eager message, but I needn't have worried because as soon as I sent him the message I could see that he hadn't even been active on the website for, I think it was something like 60 days. So I was like, man, 2 months. He's never going to read this message. He is never going to read it. So I waited. I waited and waited and waited, and every single day I logged back on and I checked to see if he'd replied or even if he had been on the website, and he hadn't been for the whole 30 days. And so on the 30th day I got a reminder email saying, would you like to renew your subscription? And at this point I was angry. I was really angry. Like, he was the man of my dreams and I had no doubt in my mind that he was my husband. And I couldn't get in touch with him. So I called the website and I just said, look, there is a guy on here and this is going to sound crazy, but I do the law of attraction and he is my husband and I need to get in touch. Hook me up. And so they said, you know, sometimes you can have feelings attached to people that you haven't met. You need to broaden your horizons. Basically they were saying I was crazy, and I was like, look, I'm not crazy. I'm a normal girl. I can get dates, okay? I just need dates with people I like. And I just need to know his name. Like, can you just send him like a poke email just saying like, look, you've got a message on your profile, like take a look? Or could you just give me his name? Like, I can look him up on Twitter. I don't need his contact number, I just need a name. So anyway, they pretty much thought I was crazy and said no. So there we go, that was that done. I hung up the phone and I actually cried because I was so frustrated. I can almost cry about it now thinking about it. I got over it. So then I took the slightly questionable stalkerish step of deciding to print out a picture of this man in colour and putting it on my vision board. If you are new to law of attraction and you have not done a vision board, I highly recommend you do one. Google it. So I put on my vision board of all of the things I wanted to attract into my life. So 2.5 years have passed by now and I'm still, woo, a single girlfriend, partying, but probably crying herself to sleep at night. No, it wasn't. And every time that a date went wrong, or I had a bad day, or if I'd like seen someone for a little bit and then broken up with them after 3 days, I would just like phone my mum or my sister and I would just cry and just be like, why can't I just find that guy that I saw, you know, my husband? And they knew him as my husband. They were like, oh yeah, your husband, yeah. And you know, I would just be like yearning for this person that I'd never met. So one day in April 2012, this is 2.5 years later, my friend Lucy is walking along the road in Covent Garden and she sees this really tall, mixed race, hot guy in a nice suit, drinking outside a pub with his friends. So she goes over to him and she's like,
oh my god, my friend would love you. You are literally her type to a T. Please, can I put you two in touch?
And he was like,
I'm not sure. Like, what does your friend look like? I only like tall blonde girls. I like really tall girls.
oh boom, thank God I am 5'10" because that stood me in good stead that day. They swapped numbers and then she gave me his number and we started texting. So we're texting, and he's like, do you want to meet up for a date on Tuesday? So I'm in my office and he sends me his name to check him out on Facebook. I type it in. Do you want to guess what happens next? It's the same profile picture. Not just, oh, is that the same guy? I'm not sure. It's the same profile picture. The same. Do you want that to sink in for a little bit? There's more. So anyway, I phoned my mum and I'm just like, oh my God, Mum, do you remember my husband from 2.5 years ago? The one on my vision board. She's like, yeah, of course I remember your husband. The guy on the boat, the tall guy, the really long guy. I'm like, yes, Mum, I'm meeting my husband on Tuesday night. We're going out on a date and we're gonna get married. And you know, I nearly fell off my chair. I then proceeded to call my sister. I called my friend Julie. I called my friend Lucy. I called everyone I knew and I just told them, be prepared, buy a hat, because this bitch is getting married. We met up on that Tuesday and everyone said to me, Fran, be demure, be calm, don't let him know that he's your husband, don't freak him out. So of course I listened to that for about 20 minutes and then I couldn't hold it in anymore and I was just like, I have to tell you something, I'm your wife and this is gonna freak you out. And of course to begin with he didn't believe me, and it's only when he went back home and he checked out his dates that he realised that at that point he had been back in London for something like a month. He was single, he wanted to find a hot lady, so he went onto this dating website and then he moved back to Australia. So he was literally the furthest point away in the world that he could get, and I still found him. So he then believed it and he was like, oh my God, this is really crazy. And 6 months later, we got engaged. I told everybody in my office that day, I'm gonna meet my husband and I'm telling you, we're gonna get married. Within 6 months, we were engaged. And just over a year later, we got married at a beautiful wedding in the south of France. It was an amazing day. And it is a story that has shaped my life. A little while ago, we went with some friends to an art festival in East London. And there's a pub there that's really famous for having loads and loads of graffiti and sayings and stuff written in the toilets. Classy. And I went in there and I was really interested in it and I was taking photos of all these different quotes. And there was one that said, before I met you, I missed you so much. And that just resonated with me so much because that is exactly how I felt. Oh my God. For our first dance at our wedding, we had I Knew I Loved You Before I Met You. It just sums up perfectly my story. I hope this video has inspired you if you are looking for love or if you are trying to make your relationship work. I really hope that this can show you that anything is possible. Never give up on the law of attraction and never give up on love.